Welcome to another episode of Selling South Bay. My name is Aaron Alcides with Alpha Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. And today I am here with this wonderful lady that is a big essential piece of a real estate business. It's a stager. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me,
Well,
or thanks for coming to me.
well, thank you for allowing us to come in here. And this is a very, very large place. And
Yes,
boy,
it is.
do you have different things. Tell us a little bit about your business. Tell us when did you get started and how did you get so big? I mean, this is like a beautiful place.
Thank you. This is 5,000 square feet
Wow.
of furniture and shelving and everything that you can imagine that's needed for the stage. And I started about 30 years ago in my own ventures of flipping homes. And one thing led to another, and I made the business official. Started out of a garage. Some of the best
That is
businesses start out of a garage. And when that need became to the point where no more shelving and no more space, then transition to storage facilities, then smaller little
warehouse.
rentals, and then voila, finally got
Wonderful.
my own warehouse.
Well, interesting
Mhm.
enough, she was telling me that in the beginning, when she would do flips, she would just empty her house out of, she would take the furniture from the house and put it on the house that she was selling. Now,
My husband didn't like that, but it worked for that. It worked for the moment.
well, you know what though, that simply shows that when you know what you want and you know that you can make it happen, you do whatever it takes.
That's
And
right.
and that is the story of every successful business person out there.
Absolutely.
So from those days to now, tell us a little bit about
Mhm.
what do you do nowadays?
So, and I have some of my sons. I have three sons, grown sons, two of whom helped me originally with the business because it really takes the manpower. And yes, I used to lift some sofas myself, but those days are done. I have a crew of four men, but I did start with my sons, and then I just continue to grow from there. Added a third man. Now I have a crew of four, sometimes five, sometimes a second huge truck. I currently have a 20-foot truck, but sometimes we'll have the need for an additional 20 or 30-foot truck,
Wow.
depending on the size of the home.
Well, I do see some of the pieces of furniture, and yeah, I would highly recommend you not to be lifting those.
Yeah, it's and now when I shop furniture and I do all model home buyouts, so it's all quality pieces, I constantly am lifting just to make sure that this is something that my guys can carry.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, and also, I mean, sometimes some pieces are so light that in the move can easily break, right?
You're
So you want to
right.
make sure you're getting good quality.
That's right. And that's why you see everything wrapped up the way you do around here, is to prevent
Damage.
breakage.
Well,
Mhm.
and I mean, you want your stuff to last. I see a lot of light colors all over the place, so yeah, you
Ah,
definitely want to protect those from,
yes.
moving them around.
Yes.
And that way, you show also your employees, right, how you want your stuff to be treated.
Absolutely.
I,
There's a
I
process.
yes, I seen movers,
Mhm.
and when you just put your stuff out there that you don't really care about, they just move it that way.
Yep, that's right.
So it's really important.
It is.
Um,
Mhm.
so how do you get your business nowadays?
We were talking about social media, and really that is the number one platform for me. I like the interaction that we have on Facebook and Instagram, where somebody can say, "Oh, that's a cool rug," and I can respond and I can let them know why I chose it or whatever. Also, we do a lot of before and after on social media, Facebook and Instagram, and that's fun because people respond, and I like their responses.
And everybody's in social media, right?
Yes.
So, and this is the important thing about this blog. We actually promote it on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, every line of social media out there. Twitter is becoming a big video company nowadays that are going to be giving some competition to the other sites. So that's some things that we're exploring.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the normal process? Let's say for you to come into, let's say I go get a listing,
Yep.
right? And I see, that it needs more than decluttering, or the
Mhm.
house is vacant.
Mm-hmm.
So then I call you and you come and do.
Right. So you call Lita Luhrsen Home Staging and Styling, and I will gladly come with you and your sellers or whoever wants to attend our consultation at no cost for a 1 hour consultation, and then we can explore the options that you for your home to sell better. Pictures for your buyers, as you know,
Yeah.
are number one, and that's the lure to bring that buyer to that property. So staging, of course, has taken its from here where, well, let's just declutter a little, to the importance now being way up here. So the consultation occurs, we go from room to room, and we talk about an overall plan.
Okay.
If it is a property that's occupied, then we can talk about with the sellers, and that's when we definitely want to have the sellers present
There,
and
right.
on board to discuss which items to remove, to pack. Shall they get a pod? Shall they just store it in the garage? Whatever works for the seller. And then we have a master plan for the overall stage. It can be a light stage, meaning we do 1 or 2 rooms. I
Right.
do 2 minimum. Or it can be a matter of decluttering, moving everything to the garage with my crew will do that. And then I'll come in and rearrange their furniture, add some new pillows, and create it just a consistent thread of a theme throughout the home.
Got it. Yeah, given the consistency, it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
The other piece is that you know we're all different, right?
Yep.
And there's some of us that can actually take an empty space and figure out what to do with it. And there's people that walk in to see a house and it's vacant, it's completely empty, and you know, especially if it has interesting
A
layout.
layout, yeah.
If the layout is a little bit complicated,
Yeah,
it makes it hard for them to figure out where the furniture is going to go.
it does.
So staging is crucial because the numbers show that the properties that get staged sell for more,
Correct.
right?
That's
So
right.
there's no reason why the sellers shouldn't want you involved, correct?
Well, if they're looking for the dollar sign at the end of the deal, there should be a master plan, and we work all as part of the team. The realtor, the sellers, the stager, the photographer. Right? It is a team effort. It really is.
It sure is.
Hmm.
Now, in your experience, is the seller usually the one that pays for the staging?
So that's changed. That's a really good question. That's changed quite a bit in the last only 2 years. So I've been doing this staging before staging was called staging 30
Mm-hmm.
years ago. But I formed my LLC 7 years ago, and the shift in market, whether it's good, bad, whatever, the sellers used to pay. The competition among realtors in obtaining a listing
Right.
has increased, and so I am seeing this year alone that a lot of realtors are
Paying
paying,
for it
or they're fronting the money, or they're taking it at the end, or the sellers are
at,
giving it back,
at the closing. Yeah.
which is encouraged, right at the end when they close the escrow. So there's no rule, but I have seen a definite shift from only sellers paying to maybe 50-50,
50-50.
or
Yeah.
it depends.
Well, it's definitely getting competitive out there, and depending on the size or the dollar amount of the listing,
Mhm.
I mean, it can totally make sense for an agent to pay.
Right. That's important too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because my $9 million listing that I do requires quite a bit more staging in a 6,000 square foot property, that perhaps that's not something that the realtor would take on.
Right.
And in those cases, I will have to say the seller does pay.
Do you always get paid up front, or do you sometimes defer to escrow, or depends on the relationship?
Up front.
Up front, okay.
Yes, up front. In the hopes that we know that escrow we want to close. Sometimes things happen, and
Yes.
just don't want those problems.
I don't blame you.
Yes.
And so what's the minimum period of time that you do for staging?
I have a minimum of 2 months.
2 months, okay.
I have a minimum of a 2-month term, and a minimum of 2 space stage. And for me, 2 spaces means living room and dining room.
Yeah.
Now, I always include, regardless of that, I always include all of the kitchen counters, the bathrooms, whether it's 1 or 5, they're all included, and an outdoor seating arrangement.
Oh,
That's
very nice. Included in the 2 space.
Correct.
Right? Okay, wonderful. So if you have 4 bedrooms, normally the master bedroom or the main bedroom is the one that actually gets staged, right?
Right. So the combination of spaces would be living room, dining room, and primary, right?
Right.
And then they can decide, like sometimes in the smaller condos, actually, they don't like to leave one bedroom, or if it's a 2-bedroom, they don't like to have just the primary stage and the one empty. It looks odd.
Right.
It does look odd.
Yeah.
But if there's 3 bedrooms, it's common that the middle bedroom would be empty and 2 would be staged.
Right. Yeah. No, it's really depend. To me, I find it more necessary when the layout is just not your typical layout. Sometimes the furniture, we're looking always. The normal is that you look for a wall and that's where you put a couch. But when you have windows everywhere,
Yes.
now you have to space correctly. And I mean, I've seen some of the stuff that you guys do, and I think it's awesome and amazing.
Yeah.
Well, on this video, we're actually going to put your contact information so people can call you directly. We will promote it on Instagram and Facebook and all the other channels. So feel free to share with all the people that follow you. I'm sure you have a good group of followers.
I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm Lita Luhrsen with Lita Luhrsen Home Staging and Styling, and you can find me on Facebook, Lita Luhrsen Home Staging and Styling, as well as Instagram at Carmelitaluhrsen. Lots of fun pictures to see before and afters, which everybody loves.
Right.
And feel free to comment because I do answer the comments. And I have fun doing it.
Well, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Once again, this is Aaron Alcides with Alpha Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. And if any of you out there have a business that would like to promote through this blog, please give us a call. Our information is right in front of you. Thank you again. Until the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.